Hey everyone, I hope that your day is going well. We're done with the first half of Unit 2, so I just wanted to make a couple of announcements, and as you can tell, I'm doing a screencast because I wanted to show you a couple of things about the timeline. First off, I always give the opportunity to redo and resubmit the work on the first timeline assignment so that you can earn up to full credit for that. I know that this is a brand new thing for most of us, if not all of us. And so, based on the feedback that I've left for you, if you would like to resubmit your work, please go ahead and do that. You don't have to resubmit to Blackboard, but you can just make your changes here on the timeline on Tiki If you do that, please send me an email to let me know that you've updated your work so that I will know to come in here and update your score, because Tiki doesn't send me notifications when new entries are made there. So again, that's an opportunity that you have for this first timeline assignment. Also remember, any and all late work is accepted for the intersession. I think that you're doing pretty amazing work if you're able to get everything in within the 2-week window that we're together, even if you've missed a couple of deadlines. So don't distraught or don't feel distraught if you've missed something. You can go back and catch those up. Please do ask questions whenever you have them. The other thing I wanted to make sure that we all keep in mind is the historical significance piece of the timeline assignment. So that's something that I've tried to give some hints about in various places and some examples of. What I'm asking you to do is provide some analysis of the topic that you've entered on the timeline. So what I mean by that is go a step beyond just narrating the information about the history of that topic. So for example, looking at what's right in front of me here, and I'm not saying that Noel needs to do this, but just if you are putting an entry on Mesa Verde, also explain to us why it's an important site to New Mexico's histories. What the significance of the ancestral Puebloans were that lived there, where they went from there, how they connect to other things. Those are different ways to think about historical significance. But the cue I like to give is you may have said some things that are significant about your topic without explaining why they're significant. So if you look back at what you've written and you haven't done that step of saying why this matters, explaining the so what, then you haven't yet addressed historical significance. And so that's what I'm looking for there. If I've given you some feedback about historical significance and you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask me about those. So I think those were the main things I wanted to emphasize about the work that we're doing on the timeline. I think we're off to an excellent start as a class, working together here to build this timeline. One other thing I did want to mention, there was some question about when assignments are due. So remember that each unit lasts for 2 days. Today is Thursday, the 2nd of May, and today is the second day of Unit 2. So that means that last night, the reading tweets and the timeline ID step were due. Today, you can work on the journal entry and the timeline connection step. So those are the 2 things that are due today. You didn't have to do all of those assignments by last night. You have due dates spread out over the 2 days that we're working on each unit. And each unit will now follow that same general pattern, even though we'll be reading and viewing videos on different topics as we move through New Mexico history. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to move myself here. I think I can. Yep. And make myself smaller so that I can show you a thing or two on the timeline. Just in terms of style, you'll notice that most of the timeline entries just have the name there, but some will end up having some of the writing on these little thumbnails. So when I click on more, the writing that shows in the thumbnails all comes up in italics. The way to address that, to make it so that the text isn't in italics and so that your line breaks, your paragraph breaks will show in your formatting, is to go into the editor. And actually, let me see if I can move myself again. Sorry about that. Move myself over here so you can see. And so you do want to have your name in that box, in the intro box, but you don't need to have all of the information there. You can use this extra info button and paste the info there, and you'll notice, again, once you do it that way, that everything comes out in that style. These are things that are frequently asked questions, and so I just wanted to show you a few of these things. I'll put everything back the way I found it. Whoops. I promise I will. So that folks can come in and make the changes that they need to make or may want to make. Okay, so I put that one back. Now I wanted to show you this one. So Laura's done a great job of putting her entry in here. The way to add the images or the videos is this media button. You have to click Add New Media, and then depending on what you have, so I have a video here on Canyon de Chelly. You do a right click right on the video itself, and you can get the video URL. You can just go here to the browser bar and copy that URL, go back over to Tiki-Taki in the other tab, and you just paste that URL into the source box. Then, because this wasn't an image, it was a video, I just switch and pick video. If I want to, I can add a caption and a thumbnail, but I don't need to do that. I can just click save, and now you'll notice the video is there. And even though it's a gray box, when you hit play video, it'll pop up. So some videos do that. I don't know why. Others will show a little thumbnail there. So I'm going to put things back the way I said. But then also I wanted to show this. I've done a Google Images search for Canyon de Chelly. And I can pick any of these images that I like. I think I like this one. It's actually kind of big. Maybe we'll pick this one instead. To get the URL for the image, you can't grab the URL up here in the browser bar. That won't work. You need to click directly on the image, and I mean right click directly on the image or control click if you're using a Mac. I'm using a Mac, so the menu you get might look slightly different, but what you want to do is copy the image address. The phrasing, depending on the browser you're using, or if you're using a PC, might be slightly different. But again, if you get the image address, you can also go to Media, click Add New Media, and then just paste the address that you've copied into the source box. It's an image. I can just click Save, and there's our image. So again, those are commonly asked questions, things that pop up. All in all, though, we're doing great work here. Proud of the start that we have for our class. So please, again, let me know if you have any questions. I hope that this video is helpful, and I look forward to seeing your connections.